Hello, my name's Rod. I'm a Young People's Worker and welcome back to our series on basic tips for bicycles. Today we're just going to look at chains. You might find when you've stored your bike for a while that you've accidentally knocked the chain off and you're not too sure how to get it back on. It's relatively simple to do, but you might also find when you're riding your chain comes off. And that might become more of an issue, particularly if it happens quite a lot, because it might mean that actually your chain is really worn and you might need to change it. If that is the case, the bad news is quite often you will also need to change this because there's cogs on there that the chain links into, and this bit at the back as well. So it can be quite a costly thing there. But it can be dangerous if your chains keep coming off there, especially if you get out of the saddle of the cycle, you potentially could fall off. So the other reason sometimes where chains come off is because on the derailleurs, I'll show on the other bike there, sometimes they're what they call these things here limit screws. So they actually control how far the derailleur moves, how far the chain goes. Sometimes those have been set up wrong and it can actually force the chain into the wheel. I would say that generally that isn't the problem. You don't really ever need to touch those once they've been installed at the beginning. It's not something I recommend getting a screwdriver and messing around there. You will probably mess your whole gear changes there. So I'd say don't really use the limit screws. When you get your bicycle, they should be set up properly. But if you do suspect there's an error there, there are videos online that go through that, or take it down to your shop. So the most common error with chains is that they come off. So a little bit like this, hope you can see, it's kind of come off. And the idea is that people panic, oh no, it can't work, what am I going to do? And really what we want to do is just get this bit, so you get hold of the chain. And remember the back bit there, it's quite flexible, so we can pull it around there. And you just want to get it back onto one of the cogs. I usually say put it on the small cog there, because once you've got it on there, so you just sort of push it around and it will fit back into place there. And if that wasn't the right cog, what you find is, so I'm going backwards now, so if I go as if we are pedaling there, if it wasn't actually on that one, the bike will automatically change it back to where it was. So that's basically what you do. If it does happen to come off of the back, which is rarer, the same thing again. You just want to pull the chain back onto the cog there and then just pull it around. So that's basically how you put on your chain if it does come off. Now the other thing to try and help your chains work smoothly is putting oil on them. This one is really dry. Again, what you want to do, just put oil on the chain there, go backwards and just let the oil go in it. That will help it run a lot more smoothly, help the gear changes, and your bike will seem a lot better. So keep redoing that. That's something that a lot of people don't do. The other thing that you might find is that your gears jump a little bit. And now I'm going to switch it over to the other bike. Hopefully you will see it here. So when I pedal this bike, can you see that it's jumping about a lot? And it's making a lot of noise and it's really irritating. Now sometimes that is because we've just put the gears in between. Cheaper bikes, they're not got a great gear system. So sometimes just checking, have you got the right gear? But sometimes it is because these wires here that attach your cables to change your gears, sometimes it just gets loose. Now, do you have to undo it all? You can, but there's a little thing here called a barrel adjuster, which there's certain parts you'll see on the bike that you have barrel adjusters, and you can actually just turn that and you can solve this problem really simply. Now the idea is, on this bike here, what we're finding is, I've actually put it in the gear for this cog, but it's stuck in this lower cog there. So the bike is desperately trying to change it there, but something's gone wrong. So what I'm going to do here with this barrel adjuster, sometimes you can pull it out, sometimes it just turns normally. Now you're going to need two hands for this, so I will put this around and see if you can see what's happening. So you're going to pedal it around there and you're going to turn this. Now I keep forgetting which way to turn it, I must be honest, but in this case here I'm actually going to be turning it towards myself, and as you can see now it's just jumped onto that next cog. If you made a mistake with that and it doesn't work, you just turn it around the other way there. If you really worry, you can remember how many turns did I do. So this one, if I turn it back 1 turn, 2 turns, oh, I've damaged it again. So I'm going to turn it back 1 turn, 2 turn. And once you've done that, it is best to check all the other gears, you know, because sometimes it isn't always that straightforward. But that's a little tip. Often this will help you get your gears back into shape. So that's what I've got on cables. So I shall see you next time.